From the School of Journalism and Strategic Media, here's Blue Raider Extra Point.
And welcome to Blue Raider Extra Point. I'm Abigail Martin here as always with Chase Owens and with Will Stevenson. We're here coming to you from the School of Journalism and Strategic Media. Unfortunately, due to the late ad, we weren't able to get you covered for yesterday's game. However, we do have you prepped and ready to go for WKU and the 100 Miles of Hate. Let's go ahead and get it started. First up, we have Nathan Vaughn in the starting lineup.
The starting lineup.
Week 4 is upon us, and with it comes the opening week of games for the SEC, as well as another batch of high-profile games across the country. Auburn enters 2020 with familiar faces on offense, but the opposite on defense. Quarterback Bo Nix had a promising 2019 and will look to maintain consistency this season, but on defense, the Tigers lost stalwarts Marlon Davidson and Derek Brown to the NFL, as Gus Malzahn's team will look to plug the holes on the defensive line. Kentucky gets senior quarterback Terry Wilson back for this year after he missed most of 2019 with a brutal injury. The Wildcats ended 2019 on a high note, and Mark Stoops' team is ranked in the AP Top 25 to open the season. Looking to go 3-0 for the first time since 2004, the Pitt Panthers will play host to Louisville in a mid-standings battle in the ACC. The Panthers have had an airtight defense so far in 2020, limiting opponents Austin Peay and Syracuse to an average of 150 yards of total offense. Kenny Pickett and the Panther offense will look to run it up versus a Louisville defense that was scorched by Miami last week. For Louisville, they will need to offset its defensive issues with more output from Malik Cunningham and the Cardinals offense. Louisville had more total yards, first downs, and time of possession than Miami, but the turnover battle ended up biting the Cards in the tail in the end. A surprising matchup of undefeated and ranked teams, the Black Knights of Army head to Cincinnati for a clash of high-octane offenses. Army has been perhaps the biggest shocker of 2020 so far, with two dominant wins over MTSU and Louisiana Monroe, scoring 79 points and only giving up 7 on defense. But Army will face its toughest test yet in the veteran Bearcats. Cincinnati has had back-to-back double-digit win seasons under head coach Luke Fickell and will look for a New Year's Six bowl push in 2020, and that campaign starts against Army. Cincinnati's defense didn't look elite in the win over Austin Peay, but the offense flashed with a big 525-yard performance last week.
Thanks, Nathan. That's a nice lineup of games. Make sure you check out as much as you can on this college game day morning.
Absolutely. And Chase, what are your can't-miss games for this week?
This week I've got the SEC. I'm just so excited that it's back, and in the South it doesn't get much bigger than the SEC. Florida taking on Ole Miss, Kentucky taking on Auburn, and South Carolina taking on Tennessee. I mean, it just can't get better than that.
Sounds like another big weekend of college football starting this Saturday. We have to take a quick break, but coming up next we have the Big Blue Review. Stay tuned for more on Blue Raider Extra Point.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right, because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
And welcome back to Blue Raider Extra Point. We're going to go ahead and kick it over to the Noahs to see if they can top last week's Toga Style Party. Here they are with the Big Blue Review.
The Big Blue Review.
For this week's review, let's look back at the battle for the Palladium. First off, we were only allowed to have 6,000 people in attendance due to COVID-19. Well, those 6,000 people saw the Blue Raiders get beat by Troy 47-14 in their home opener, giving back the Palladium.
That's definitely not what I thought was going to happen for our Blue Raiders.
Oh, same here. It's almost like we didn't even have to wear togas. But on the bright side, we traveled down to Troy in November, so we definitely have a chance to bring back the Palladium back to its rightful home here in the borough.
Well, what else happened this weekend?
Well, actually, I'm glad you asked. We finally had another sport other than football play this week.
Well, was it golf?
Oh, yes it was, Noah. Both our men's and women's golf team traveled this weekend. The men's traveled down to Ooltewah, Tennessee to play at the Scenic College Collegiate on Monday and Tuesday this week, while our women's team took on the Hoover Invitational.
Well, how'd they do?
On Monday, our men's team finished tied for third, while our women's had a slow start, finishing 8th.
Well, how'd they close?
Unfortunately, our men's team ended up dropping to 6th after battling all day long. But on the other hand, our women's team jumped up to 4th place.
Well, when do we play next?
Our men's team travels to Birmingham, Alabama on Tuesday, while our women's team will travel to Jonesboro, Arkansas in October.
Wait, did we play UTSA yesterday in football too?
Yes, but that's a conversation for next week as we're all out of time. Back to y'all from the Noahs.
Thanks to the Noahs. Much more to come on Blue Raider Extra Point. Coming up after the break, we're going to take you around the CUSA.
And Houston Chapman will have this week's Blue Raider Spotlight.
And once again, my favorite portion of the show, because Abigail lost, the picks. Stick around for more Blue Raider Extra Point.
You're watching Blue Raider Extra Point.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzz and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all. If I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
And we're back on Blue Raider Extra Point. We're coming to you from the School of Journalism and Strategic Media. And Chase, I know you're so excited to get this one rolling. You've been working so hard to take us around the CUSA. So what you got for us this week?
We've got the Panthers from Georgia State taking on the 49ers from Charlotte. And then we also have the Louisiana Monroe Warhawks taking on the UTEP Miners. Let's get right into it.
Around the CUSA.
As Charlotte takes on Georgia State this week, they'll be coming off of a 35-20 loss against App State. The passing game looked below average as Chris Reynolds completed only 11 of his 30 passes for 146 yards and also had 2 interceptions. Coming off of a year in which he completed 63% of his passes, look for his quick passing attack to get back on track and to take advantage of Georgia State's middle-of-the-pack passing defense. Georgia State played a hard-fought game against Louisiana Lafayette, but lost in overtime. The rushing game, like it always does, looked great as they rushed for 223 yards. It will not be this easy, as under Will Healy, the 49ers have shut down the run very well and only gave up 126 yards per game last season. Look for an exciting one in Charlotte. UTEP is looking to stay above 500 this week and advance to 3-1. To do that, sophomore quarterback Gavin Hardison has to continue his ball-controlled offense. He has completed over 60% of his passes against teams not named the Texas Longhorns. When he's done that, the Miners have capitalized with 5 red zone rushing touchdowns. Ground game and ball control? We might be back in the early 2000s with the way the Miners move their offense. Louisiana Monroe is 0-2 and needs to rebound hard coming off of a loss to Texas State. Despite that loss and the 1 week prior, Colby Suits is having a heck of a year in which he has thrown for 525 yards and 3 touchdowns through 2 games. The rushing attack has not been there though, as the Warhawks only have a total of 104 yards on the ground. For the Warhawks to be successful this week, Suits is going to have a successful game against the Miners secondary.
Thanks, Chase. Now here's the full lineup of all the Conference USA games for this weekend.
Conference USA looks busy this week, but let's swing it on over to Reese Smith Jr. Field, where Houston Chapman's with DJ Wright for this week's Blue Raider Spotlight.
What's up, Blue Raiders? My name is Houston Chapman, here at the Blue Raider Spotlight, here with DJ. DJ, tell me about yourself.
My name is DJ Wright. I'm from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. I went to Blackman High School. I am a pitcher and a third baseman here at MTSU.
Now tell me, how was the season going before it got suspended?
Before the season got suspended, we were on a roll, I would say. We took one from Coastal Carolina, came back home, played Memphis and Lipscomb. I think we swept both of those teams. We would have made a run.
Now I heard you blew up on TikTok. Tell me a little about that.
So when quarantine first started, me and my brother, he actually plays here also, we did like a 50-yard challenge off the tee into a net. It kind of just worked on staying on top of the ball, but we made a game out of it. So we just went like 5 yards, 10 yards, 15, and we got all the way to 50 yards, and I kind of blew up on TikTok for it.
So as a third baseman, what makes you different versus the other infield positions?
So third base, 1, it's the longest throw in the infield. 2, it's a hot corner, so you gotta be quick on your feet and you gotta have good reaction time. You gotta be focused at all times, and you have to just be very consistent.
So you mentioned the third to first throw, and that's one of the harder throws to make. Here's the thing, I think I can do that throw, and I think I might be able to do it better than you. What do you think?
If you think you got what it takes, let's see it.
All right, well, let's find out.
DJ went first, and he executed the throw flawlessly. He threw rocket after rocket. Then it was my turn, and my throw was a little off target. The next throw wasn't much better, but this catch was pretty sweet. My last throw still missed the mark, but a sweet catch by my first baseman, who had some great snags.
So as you can see, DJ is way better than me at baseball. He made that third to first throw look way easy, and for me, it was very hard. So I give him props for that, and I realize now that baseball is probably not the sport for me. But here's the thing, I had a great time today, so if you want to check out DJ and the rest of the Blue Raider baseball team, check them out on social media. And tune in next week for the next Blue Raider Spotlight.
Thanks, Houston. As you can tell, that 130-foot throw from third to first, that takes a lot of arm to get there.
And that's why I played first base.
Oh my goodness. Y'all, I think it's about time for us to take a quick 7th inning stretch. We'll be right back after the break as we have Zachary Lone with the scouting report.
Catch Blue Raider Extra Point right here Saturday mornings at 10:30 from Party Foul in Murphyboro.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Or maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all. If I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Son, love is like the ocean. You have to tread the waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Jessica, will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Time for more Blue Raider Extra Point.
And welcome back to Blue Raider Extra Point. Unfortunately, due to the late ad, we weren't able to have you covered for yesterday's game. However, we do have you ready, prepped, and ready to go for WKU and the 100 Miles of Hate. Here's Zachary Lone with the scouting report.
Thanks, guys. Today I'll be breaking down how MTSU's offense stacks up. Western Kentucky has also had a slow start to the season, starting off 0-2 with losses to Louisville and Liberty. A couple of players that MTSU needs to look out for are Antoine Kincaid and D'Angelo Malone. Kincaid leads the team with a total of 19 tackles this year, and he also has had 1 pass deflection. Malone leads the team with 11 solo tackles, 3.5 tackles for loss, and he has also come up with the team's only sack of the year. Western Kentucky has allowed 487 yards per game this year, with 249 of the yards coming from opposing running attacks. MTSU ranks 46th out of the 47 teams that have played so far this year, with only 212.5 yards per game, which is only better than Syracuse. They have only 81 yards on the ground per game this year, but look for MTSU to try and kickstart their rushing attack against Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky's defense gives up 8.7 passing yards per play, which is 36th in the country. MTSU averages 4.5 passing yards per attempt, which is ranked 42nd in the country. Something we'll have to give this week. Western Kentucky has only 1 sack on the year, and MTSU is in the top 10 in sacks percentage this year with 3.33. Keeping O'Hara upright will be a key to look out for MTSU. Western Kentucky has given up 32.5 points per game this year, but MTSU has only scored 14 total points this year. MTSU will have to put up points this week if they want to gain some momentum for the rest of the year. For MTSU to score, they will have to get to the red zone. As of now, MTSU has only averaged 1 red zone attempt per game, which is tied for last in the country. Western Kentucky has given up 5 per game, so it will be important to convert these scoring chances if the opportunity presents themselves. The 100 Miles of Hate kicks off next week and will be a new twist to this rivalry. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Zachary. And now with this scouting report in mind, what are some keys to succeed for MTSU versus WKU?
My 3 keys to succeed this week is 1, to get a pass rush going. We only have 3.5 sacks through our first 2 games, and that's not going to be good enough to stop Western's passing attack. For 2, we've got to have a ground game. If you can run the ball successfully, you'll keep the opposing offense on the field, and MTSU is always more successful when they have a successful ground game. And then 3, we've got to win our money downs. For offense, that's first down. It means getting 4 or more yards every first down, so that way you're ahead of the chains and you can keep your drives going. And then on defense, it's third down. If you can get off the field and get your offense back on, then you're going to score more points and you're going to be more successful.
Absolutely. And my first key is play Cunningham. We can all agree that Asher is a great player at quarterback and needs to still be present in the game, but Chase Cunningham is the arm that MTSU needs to get the receivers involved. Even Brown safety and MT alum Javante Moffitt took to Twitter demanding for the backup to get some reps. The second key is ignore bashing. With the rough start the Blue Raiders have had, it's drawn the attention of the media that they don't want. MTSU was ranked the worst in Conference USA out of the first few weeks, and that's something that needs to go in one ear and out the other. And the last key is be better. We can't keep talking about needing this win and needing the next. We just need to focus on this week's matchup.
Will, I really like your last key, and I think it helps roll straight into mine. Key number 1, reset the mentality. No, this isn't the start of the season that you wanted and hoped for. However, it isn't too late to change things around. Key number 2, gain momentum. If you want to change, you have to demand it. Keep the chains rolling and remain controlled throughout the game. Key number 3, control what you can. That means penalties. Penalties do nothing but hurt your team. You have to keep it together in order to keep the mentality together as a team.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
And welcome back to Blue Raider Extra Point. Chase is ready to get to his favorite part of today's show, the picks. So let's go ahead and get it rolling. First up, we have Georgia State and Charlotte.
I'm going Georgia State.
The only problem I have with that is that Georgia State's best part of their offense is the ability to run the ball, and Charlotte has a great rush defense, so I like Charlotte.
I have Charlotte. Tulane and Southern Miss.
I'm going Tulane.
I think I'm going to stick with a second great defense and go with the Green Wave.
I have Tulane. UTEP and ULM.
So UTEP's off to a great start, and I see him keeping it going, so I'm going UTEP.
Go Miners.
UTEP. We have FIU and Liberty.
I'm going Liberty.
Liberty, 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 Liberty.
I think this was the easiest choice for me this week. I have Liberty. Last up, we have Houston Baptist and Louisiana Tech.
I'm going La Tech.
Let's stick with you.
Louisiana Tech.
Check out Blue Raider Extra Point on Instagram and Twitter.
All right, unfortunately, that's all the time we have here today from the School of Journalism and Strategic Media. Remember to catch us every Saturday morning right here on Channel 9 at 10:30. And don't forget, follow us on Instagram and Twitter. We want to hear from you.
Absolutely. If you missed any of this episode or any of our past episodes, you can check those out on our website at middletennesseenews.net. Thank you for watching and have a great weekend.
So how many more games get canceled because of COVID?
Look, man, we're having a hard time with picks because every time that we get a good pick that's going to beat Chase, the game gets canceled.
You guys going to beat Chase? We're going to pick North Texas over Houston, brother.
I'm sorry,
Hey, man.
wasn't that game canceled?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
So we're not
That's
gonna-
what
it
he
doesn't
was
matter.
saying.
I understand.
I think
Here's the
that-
thing,
I don't think
because
you
it's canceled-
understand.
No, because it's canceled, we'll never know what the outcome was. So
I think
mean,
it saved Chase.
Here,
That's
we
what
can
I
run a
think.
simulcam and put those two teams in it, and we'll watch 99 times out of 100 Houston beat North Texas.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.